Okay, there we go. Awesome. Alrighty, so I think this is working this time, which is great. We're going to talk a little bit about, of course, what you felt and did you feel it, more importantly. Here we go.
Alright.
Sound working this time? We good?
Do you hear it?
Sound levels look good on here.
Are you live?
I'm live, yes.
Okay, we'll just
Sound
go
good?
a little.
Okay, alrighty, there we go. Has closed captioning, so it looks like it's working. Awesome.
Please do. Thanks. And send me a geometry.
Hello, everyone. It's meteorologist Julia Haley, just getting some things ready, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the earthquake. But in the meantime, let me know, did you feel it, and where you are if you did? Alrighty, so this earthquake was a magnitude 4.1. It happened this morning at 9:04, and it was 20 kilometers southeast of Greenback, Tennessee. So you can see it was right there. That's the magnitude 4.1. And I got messages from people in Chattanooga, even Asheville, and some of Georgia as well, that they felt this earthquake. So something that happened this morning. Now, I know many of you are probably wondering, what does a 4 mean? And a 4 means that there's noticeable shaking like many of you felt this morning. We get about 10,000 of these per year, and the energy equivalent is 33,000 pounds of explosives. And while we're on the topic of the earthquake and everything, one of the main things that I've been researching this morning is aftershock. And usually, after you have something like an earthquake, there are chances for aftershock a little bit later. But most of that is supposed to be from as the USGS says right now, is that it's going to be less than what we saw, if anything. This is the East Tennessee seismic zone, is what's coming up next. right over here, and this is our area. As you can tell, that's about where it was, right here. And Chattanooga felt it, Asheville felt it, and right in the middle is where the center of that earthquake was. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am checking as much as I can. Felt it at your house on Baumgardner Cemetery Road, Whittier, North Carolina. Felt it in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Good to know, good to know. I'm going to pull this up and make sure that I'm getting all of your comments and everything. Yes, please let me know where you experienced this earthquake, and also not only where you experienced it, but if you have any pictures or video, please feel free to send it to chime in with WLOS so we can, of course, cover your area and feature that footage, because this is not a normal incident, especially for our area, with a magnitude 4.1. Cherokee, North Carolina was strong. Belmont, North Carolina, thank you for letting me know. Belmont, Wolf Laurel, thank you. Appreciate you letting me know. Shook so much, woke me up out of a dead sleep. Tina, where were you? That is crazy. I know we're here in Asheville, and many people in our area felt it. I'm going to go charge my computer really quick. I will be right back, because I do want to talk more about what is going on. So the last time we had an earthquake like this was in Sparta, Virginia, and that was in 2020. That was 5 years ago. So something like this is not common, and it's something that, we don't usually see here, but we're definitely looking at it and tracking, especially everything that we can, looking at those USGS reports as well. I'm keeping this up behind me so you can see the location of where the epicenter of this earthquake was as a magnitude 4.1. Mars Hill. So Greg says he felt the earthquake in Mars Hill, and he says it shook the house enough that he thought a large truck was driving by. He decided to check just the news just a few minutes ago, and lo and behold, yes, it was an earthquake. So yes, that's awesome that you checked, and we are monitoring this very closely. It's something that we are, of course, very interested in, and of course, making sure that you all are the safest that you can be. Bryson City, North Carolina, Morganton, Franklin, North Carolina. Shook the whole house pretty good. Heard a loud rumble, thought something exploded. Yep, that's the sound that a lot of earthquakes do give off, especially, ones like this. Thank you for letting me know where you felt this. Of course, if you have anything, any footage or video, please send it to chime in with WLOS so we can, cover your area as best we can, especially since this happened so, in the morning on a weekend. But let's talk about what's going on one more time so you can see. Our earthquake report shows the magnitude 4.1 with the time at 9:04 in the morning, and it's 20 kilometers southeast of Greenback, Tennessee, which is right here. And so people in Chattanooga to Asheville to Atlanta felt the effects of this earthquake. So it definitely was a bigger one, especially with a depth of about 15 miles or 25 kilometers. This comes straight from the USGS, and of course we are keeping up with the information as we go. The earthquake intensity was 4.1, which is the energy equivalent of about 33,000 pounds of explosives. So if you felt it at home, you really did feel it for sure. It felt light with that noticeable shaking. And once again, if you did feel this earthquake, please let us know, WLOS, or comment straight on my page. And I would love to keep up with the reports and making sure that, we can cover as much of our area as we can. 4.1 right there, and this is the seismic zone. Of course, we do have that area where the earthquakes are most possible, and we happen to be right in that here in Asheville and Western North Carolina. Chattanooga as well is in there, and they also felt this earthquake very early at 9 in the morning. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will continue to keep this up, and I will continue to answer any questions that I find my way. Or let me know if you did feel it. Did you feel it? Would love to know. Cherokee, North Carolina, Hot Springs, North Carolina. Thank you to Sierra and Patty. Wow. Hendersonville as well. Spruce Pine, and it vibrated your couch. Yes, and very early in the morning, 9 a.m. Cherokee, North Carolina was strong. Felt it in Belmont, North Carolina. Felt it in Seneca, South Carolina. Wow. Dallas says the dish drainer on the countertop danced all over, and the telephone guide wires looked like jump ropes. And this is, once again, this is what happens with a 4.1 and with a 4 in general, is you do have that light shaking like you experienced at 9 a.m. And the energy equivalent is about 33,000 pounds of explosives. So that is a lot of energy, but this only happens there's only 10,000 of these that happen per year, and that is very much a lot. Edneyville says Pamela. Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you guys telling me where you felt this, because we're able here at the station to be able to conceptualize, just how far this earthquake went. Whittier, North Carolina, Maggie Valley, North Carolina. So what I'm gathering from what you all are telling me is that we pretty much felt it all over the area, from South Carolina, even into Georgia, to Tennessee, and into North Carolina with this 4.1 magnitude earthquake. Hayesville, North Carolina, and Hiwassee, Georgia lasted probably around 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, how long did it last for you? Would love to hear. Robbinsville shook the pictures off your wall. Weaverville, North Carolina, and Hannah's partner felt it in Fairview, North Carolina. Etowah. Wow. Well, thank you, Tina, for tuning in. And of course, we're here to keep you safe. So anything that we can do to make sure that you feel that you have the best coverage and make sure that you're staying safe, that's what we're here to do and we'll continue to do. Brevard, North Carolina. Leicester, about 30 seconds. Wow. From Ohio to Florida, said Paul. About 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. I love hearing how long you felt this earthquake, where you felt it. It's able to give us a good picture of what's going on. 10 seconds in Belmont, North Carolina, says Kim. Cherokee, probably about a minute, says Sierra. Felt it in Burnsville and Haywood County. Thank you, Haley and Angela, for letting me know. Will there be any aftershocks? Chad asks. So I've been looking at the USGS survey to see what they would say and what they're forecasting, and they do have an aftershock forecast out there. They say that there could be a chance for a magnitude 3 plus, but that's a 23% chance. Of course, in forecasts, we deal in probability, so it doesn't always mean it's going to happen, but it means that there is potential that it could happen. There's a 5% chance that the aftershock could be a magnitude 4 plus, but after that we get very minimal, if anything. Right now, of course, no aftershocks are listed, but they do say, according to our forecast, the chance of at least one aftershock within the next week is 23% for that magnitude 3 plus. But that does not mean that there's one that will happen. It just means there's potential that it could happen. Felt it in Old Fort, says Michelle. Bryson City heard it for a couple minutes at least and felt it for about 30 to 45 seconds, says Jessica. Thank you for letting me know. In Cherokee, I want to run through this again for anyone who's joining or is just new. We did have a magnitude 4.1 earthquake this morning at 9:04 a.m. So if you were waking up or if you were fast asleep, either way, we had this earthquake happen. And so it was 20 kilometers southeast of Greenback, Tennessee. You can see right here where this number is, that 4. And I got messages from people all around the area, not just here in the Blue Ridge, but from other places too, telling me that, hey, I felt it. So let me know if you did feel it. We had people from Tennessee, even into Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. This is definitely one of those earthquakes that you don't see a lot, especially for us here in North Carolina. And for a statistic or something that would be interesting, the last big one was in Sparta, Virginia. And that was in 2020. So we haven't had one of these in roughly 5 years. Angie says that she felt it in western North Carolina below Standing Indian in Macon County. Hendersonville, yes. Hendersonville definitely did feel that earthquake. Thank you, Sabrina. And one more look at that earthquake intensity. This is what you felt this morning. You felt that light, noticeable shaking in your homes, and this happens about 10,000 per year. The energy equivalent is 33,000 pounds of explosive. So a lot of energy in that for sure. And earthquakes can happen, especially in our region, as this is the East Tennessee seismic zone. So as we said, people in Chattanooga all the way to Asheville felt this earthquake. And of course, that earthquake was sitting right here, right in the middle. So that would be the epicenter, right where all of these cities are. Hey, good morning to you, Nicholas. Rhonda says that Leicester felt it. Joshua says friends in Catawba County said they felt it too. Iowa House shook. Thank you, Shirley, for letting me know. And for all of you who are new on here, if anyone has any footage or video, please send to WLOS over Chime In. Just search up WLOS Chime In, and we would love to cover, of course, anything we can from your area. Because, of course, this was so early in the morning, 9 a.m., right when all of us are waking up. Haywood County, North Carolina, 25 to 30 seconds. So you really felt it when you woke up. Cherokee, North Carolina, says Caitlin, our apartment shook like crazy. I want to give you a look at our biggest quakes that we've had. This isn't one of them, but you still felt it. And if any of you have been in the area long enough, you probably know about Charleston, South Carolina, Mineral, Virginia, Asheville in 1916, but really the one that's most recent in terms of being larger was Sparta in 2020 as the magnitude 5.1. So the rest of these aren't really in our area other than, or really recent either, except for Mineral, Virginia, which was a 5.8. This is not the biggest earthquake that we've had, but it still is one that's disruptive for our days for sure. I see I'm getting some comments. I want to respond to all of you as best I can. So this graphic is back from Sparta, where we get a magnitude 5 to 6 every 200 to 300 years. Of course, when they are less magnitudes, they can be more common, like what we saw here with the 4. Tina, I see you say this is the first earthquake you've ever felt, and you just moved to Bryson City, North Carolina. This is the first one I felt too, so crazy that we're going through this together. Felt it in Candler, North Carolina. Shook your chair, Pam. Not the whole house. Wow. If you have any questions or if there's anything you would like me to elaborate on, please let me know. I'm here for you. And I want to make sure you get the information you need. And WLOS should have an updating article with any information that we find throughout the day with the information on the earthquake. Alrighty, well, I'm going to give you one last look at this. Please stay tuned to WLOS as we find out more information about the earthquake. Definitely go on Chime In, submit your photos and your videos so we can see that and cover your area best we can. And on top of that, yeah, let's take one more look so you can see what we're looking at. We have the magnitude 4, 9:04 a.m., 20 kilometers southeast of Greenback, Tennessee. That was 25 kilometers or 15 miles. Ranged all across the area, Chattanooga into Atlanta, and then South Carolina all the way into Asheville as well. This was definitely a big one. Did you feel it? Let me know. But yes, please stay tuned with WLOS. We have an updating article that will have all of the information that we're learning and gathering about this earthquake and, of course, how it affects our area here. So thank you so much again for joining and for, talking about the earthquake and did you feel it and everything. I will be updating as much as I can on my page here on Facebook at Julia Haley. You can also find me on Instagram at Julia Haley and on Twitter Julia Haley WX, which stands for weather. So I will be updating best I can this afternoon and I will let you know if I find any updates about this earthquake. Have a great rest of your Saturday and hopefully it will be a peaceful Saturday as well. So have a great day and see you on air tomorrow.